So the foundational piece of jQuery is something called jQuery selectors. And those are very similar if you're familiar with CSS selectors. They're very similar to those. And in fact, we're using a tag-based, a class-based, or an ID-based selector in jQuery as well. So it is virtually the same thing, although the syntax for jQuery selectors is a little bit different. So when I want to select or refer to a piece of the document object model in jQuery, that's kind of where I start. So let's take a look at that in code. So to demonstrate some of these jQuery elements, I've created a page that just has some really basic page elements. It's got a header, it's got a couple of divs, it's got another div that has random page elements in it, including a list with a couple of items, an input field here, and then also a button. So those are just some things that I can use to demonstrate the various pieces of this particular set of jQuery commands. So this is kind of our playground page for the next few videos. You can see here I've imported the jQuery code and I'm ready to start scripting. So when I'm looking at selectors, there are a few different ways that I can refer to elements of the page. And the first thing I want to do before I do anything in jQuery is make sure that the entire document has loaded. That's really important because it makes sure that the whole document is loaded before I execute any jQuery commands, and that prevents a whole host of different errors that can occur. So the way I do that is I'm going to put all of my jQuery code inside a set of functions, or a function that checks to make sure that the document is ready. So the way I do that is I'm going to type the following: $, and then in parentheses, just the word document, and I'm going to say ready and function, and it's going to be an anonymous function, which you probably are familiar with by now, at least if you've been following the class, and that's what it looks like. So this is the document ready function, and basically it says once this document is completely loaded, then you can do everything else. So inside of this, I'm going to start referring to different elements of the page. For example, if I wanted to refer to my header up here, I could refer to that using its ID. And if I wanted to refer to that, I would say something like this, $, in parentheses, and then inside quotes, I'm going to type my header. My header, there it is. And then whatever I want to place after that, I can place after that. So we're going to get into the different functions of jQuery here in just a moment. But if I wanted to refer to that, that is referring to that header. Similarly, let's say I want to refer to something that has a class called highlight. Okay, if I want to use a class-based selector, I'm going to say dot highlight, and that would refer to any items here that contain the class highlight. And so the last piece, of course, is the tag-based header. And as you may have guessed by now, if I want to refer to all divs in my document, it's going to look just like that. So those are the three types of selectors, and so we're going to be using those throughout this tutorial. A basic example using these jQuery selectors is, let's say I wanted to change this header text to say something different. I could use this selector inside my document ready function. I could say my header, and then I can say text, and inside that function I'm going to say hello world. And if I save that, you can see that the text, as soon as the document is fully loaded, it changes that header to hello world. And you can see how simple that was. It was just a very short line of text, whereas before I would have had to had done something much more extensive to do something like that. So this is really quick and easy, and those selectors are sort of the foundation for that.